So we're going to do the squat hold. It's also called the pause squat. You can do this with load, but we're going to show it unloaded. Here I'm going to drop down into my squat. I'm really thinking of all the parameters that we always talk about. Knees out, chest up, hips back, trying to maintain my solid midline as I get as much range of motion through my hips as it possibly can. I'm doing this in front of the squat rack because I have a lot of ankle issues, and what I'm using is that squat rack to pull me into a more realistic position. Right now there's a huge fight in my system. As you see that I kind of reposition there to make sure everything's set where it needs to be. I was holding low. You can also hold high. It all depends on who you are and where you find that struggle to improve your technique. Some people might find it's more beneficial to be high with where we grab, the pole, or if it's a doorway or a tree, whatever. Some straight on, some from the low position. Really just think about the concept of your good squat. Knees out, hips back, chest up. You see me come up out of that position. It was 100% realistic. It's exactly like I'd want it to be if I had 225 pounds on my back. So make sure you do that on the way down and on the way up. It's very important to groove a good pattern. Here you see me going down. I'm driving knees out, chest up, hips back, using that pole to pull myself into good position. Trying to think about even my head position. Where am I at with my head? How realistic can this be? Here I'm actually going to that lower position. You can do this to drive your knees out even farther, as well as to kind of drive your heels into the ground. As you get better with this, we want to use less and less assistance from the pole, but some people try and do this from the get-go, and they don't have the capability, so they just kind of get better at being bad, which is what we don't want to do. Again, you saw me there coming up very realistic. Again, can't emphasize that enough. Make sure this transitions to your squat. Here's a poor descent and a poor bottom position. If I let go of that pole, I'm going down on my butt. Here's another variant of that. Knees way forward, heels off the ground, core totally broken. Have to avoid that. Again, another variant where things are just not very, very good and not going to transition. Obviously, coming up, we see that a lot because it can be a very strenuous, exertional thing. But coming in and out of that with poor positioning really doesn't allow us to transition any of the benefits that we've gained from that bottom position. So again, make it nice and realistic. Here again, we're going to show some of the things. I'm too far back there. Now knees are in and forward, core's broken. Again, just going through those compensations that we want to avoid. Poor transition out of the bottom position, knees in, everything going bad there.